Nick in the States, and this is a guitar that a few people have asked for play demos of, and looks to. And this is a Barncaster guitar that I built in the last year. And this guy, I always wanted a Barncaster because there is something attractive to me about a roached out looking, recycled wood bodied guitar that you can put down, lean on things, kids can throw crap at it, you can hit it with a nail gun, and you know what? You're not going to make it less cool. It's going to be more of whatever it is. And this guy came from some reclaimed boards out of a house that a guy put together and carved out. And he did a cool job in that he kind of flame roasted the sides of it. But when I got it, it still hadn't any finish. So I used True Oil. True Oil is great. It's my first time using it. And you just basically rub on subsequent coats of it. And I just wanted it to get just a bit of protection to it. And with this one, it darkened it up a little bit so that all those striations and wood burns and works and screw holes, nail holes or whatever, knots, stuff, it just made it kind of pop more and that not shiny. And I personally, however you do your guitars, have fun with it, man. My personal style is some people take pine Teles and they basically give it the same treatment you'd give it if it was a kitchen table. So they get very yellowy and shiny, which is fine. It's great. Like, everybody has their things. But I wanted like a beater guitar that looks like it's been beat, or boards that have some story to them. You know, like, these things lived a life before now they're an instrument, and maybe it's a little corny to think that that has an effect on things, but hey man, it's just kind of neat. If nothing else, it's a good conversation piece. But it just feels like a nice worn-in piece of driftwood in your hands, but smooth with the with that. And then it's got I had an aged bridge that I wanted to do out of a fake relic guitar way back, and so I used that. I pulled the rusted out what the hell are the barrels? I'm having a senior moment, folks. But I pulled out the rusted out ones and put in some fresh ones. And they're the round barrels because of the height, and I'll get to a second why. The height of the neck and the way things come across. If I put those intonated saddles there, I was having issues with intonation because it was too high up and the strings were hitting the front edge before it hit the sharp point. Deep thoughts with Nick. Anyway, so that's on here, but it still looks kind of correct. The only thing that looks wrong is A, the switch keeps ejecting itself, and B, this is too shiny. I actually have a replacement one of these that was just aged with some muriatic acid or something like that. If you look at that, I mean, it's a few different boards. It's cool, and as I say, I just rubbed on the True Oil. I opted to go with a top loader on the bridge, just because here's where we get to the kind of key points. The guy who found these and put these bodies together obviously knew his wood. What he didn't know as well, and he actually disappeared from eBay after I bought it. I got this for less than $100 for the body. Nothing lined up. So the neck carve kind of aimed in a certain general direction. The bridge carve was off-center and didn't line up at all. The holes don't line up for how you would do that. Even the routing that was here for a single coil on the neck was kind of just off. Everything, and this was here. It's like he had a handful of templates and just kind of, we're going to give it a whirl and laid them all out. But I took a very scientific approach to working on this thing. I had to chisel out a bunch of the wood cavity here. I had to chisel out some stuff here to get this even close to line up so that the strings went over the pickup holes. And I had to do some work in here to get everything to fit. And my rule was I could do it with a hammer and a screwdriver. So I chipped away the wood inside there like it was a chisel, and I chipped away some stuff in there. It's a Barncaster. It's fun. The cool thing is that there was even some router pull out here. You just color it with some brown, black marker in there, and you don't even notice. It just looks like a knot. So that's what was fun about this is it wasn't nerve-wracking in any way working on it. It was actually very kind of freeing. Another guitar I built, actually I built this one a while ago, but I finally got it done, is this flame top. You can see the flame maple with the whole cap around the edge. I left a natural binding on it. With a beautiful flame maple neck one. I did this one. This one's all nitro, all baby polished, all if I messed this up while I was working on it, and I messed up a couple small things that I was able to fix, dude, it was depressing. It was just, it was not a good day. It made it not fun, you know, and this is supposed to be a fun hobby. This is what I do to escape. So this one was free because it was just stain it up. If you mess something up, darken it black a little bit, and it was part of the character and the charm. Anyway, that's Nick's psychological and philosophical freedom of the day note. The neck came from WD Music, and it's a licensed Fender. It's a mahogany neck with a ebony fretboard. And what I liked is, if you look at, so I can go here with it because the light's a little brighter, but if you look at how the middle section here is dark, and then you look at the headstock, it's actually got a darker section of mahogany right there. And it seems to just all kind of work. It's got a very thin true oil finish again. I put, what are these? Locking hip shot tuners on it, which work awesome. And they're staggered, so at the moment I don't have any string ferrules on the neck. I don't know if I need them or not. Time will tell on that thing. But for right now, it's just a very clean, unmarred look. And that's the aesthetic. For the pickups, I think it's a GFS, either a Fat Boy or a Fat 50s or something like that. Single coil in the bridge. And a Seymour Duncan mini hum in the neck that I got at some little guitar shop for 30 bucks. Put a metal black ring around it. When I was drilling something, I put a couple marquee scratches in it, and then I realized that, hey, you know what, let's just keep abusing it a little bit, and it looks like it fits in. And nothing looks brandy new. It just looks kind of lived in. Like I say, it's a WD Music neck. It's kind of a medium thickness. It's not super thick. It's not super thin. Did a little bit of fret dressing on it, but not bad. And she actually plays quite nicely. Now, my original dream, I'm addicted to four-way switches on Telecasters. And so I put one in this, tried to figure it out, couldn't, brought it to my tech, who couldn't figure it out either because there's only a 2 lead coming out of this, and you only have 2 leads coming out of this, and there's some tricks to make a Tele do a 4-way, but alas, he didn't. So he ended up using a 4-way switch, keeping it in there, and wiring it so it acted like a 3-way with an extra spot. And in fact, though, he kind of only wired it so it's a 2-way. So I only have neck and bridge options. So eventually it'll get fixed, but I'm just so happy playing it, and I like those 2 disparate tones that are here, that let's listen to it. So rig is Polytune 2, MXR, Custom Badass 78 Distortion, EHX, Electro-Harmonics, Soul Food, Joyo Tone California, Hall of Fame Mini Reverb, which I may or may not use, and Mesa Dual Rectifier, Blue Angel kind of deal there. So, but for just straight into the amp tones. And as you'll see when I get to the bridge, it's very buttery. She still rings, she's nice, but she's not piercing, so it's a very... But I like it. When I go to the bridge pickup... She's nice. It's that funky kind of compressy little bridge Tele thing that... She's nice. She's really kind of cool. And when you push it a little bit, like it's fun because there's 2 very different gears to the guitar as it's set up right now. So this is with a badass distortion and on the bridge. It's why you see a lot of metal players and real hard rock players love Teles, is because it's a very direct tone that's assaulting the amp, and the amp kind of responds in kind. If I go to the neck, it's still very buttery, not quite Les Paul, of course. Double reverb. It's kind of double reverb there, but you know what I mean. It's very kind of cool, and you can still, with the badass going. It's just fun. And then if you want to go nuttier, this one gets loud. I'm going into the California Sound Joyo pedal. It still does Tele-ish stuff. Anywho, enough of that. Go build yourself a Barncaster. Go build yourself a parts caster. Go throw some stuff together, have some fun. I have a video coming up in a couple weeks, and it's basically just the lessons I've learned through 8 or 10 parts casters and kit guitars. So hopefully some of the mistakes that I made, you can find a way to avoid. From necks not being straight to wiring mistakes, to where you buy your bodies from, the different neck companies I've had, to just all of it. Tuner holes in the neck, and the killer little tools to have and stuff. So anywho, stay tuned for that. Should be able to have that up at some point in the near future. Until then though, I've been Nick in the States. Obviously I have issues. Thanks for coming by and allowing me to share them with you.